group of people still trapped in the hangar club. Start there.
Welcome everyone to today's video where I'm going to be showing you some comparison footage between World War Z VR on Quest 3 and PCVR. Now the footage for PC for some odd reason records quite zoomed in, but it still shows the quality needed for this type of video. The game itself is somewhat dark on this level, but I wanted that as it really shows off lighting and the capabilities between the Quest and PCVR version. Now sure, this video is somewhat pointless as obviously the PCVR version looks and runs better in every way, shape and form, but not enough to completely disregard the Quest version. So I'll start off by talking about some of my thoughts with the Quest 3 version and then we'll talk about the PCVR one. Now if you haven't already, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment and a like as this really helps the channel. And if you have the time, then please watch to the end of the video. So without further ado, let's compare the two versions of World War Z VR. Now I jumped into the Quest version first and I wasn't expecting much. I thought the textures would be a big disappointment and the overall quality would be lacking on a game like this. However, I was pleasantly surprised. The game looks fine on the Quest with okay textures and okay-ish lighting. Sure, it's not the best game I've seen on the Quest, but it's also not the worst. With a game like this, my main concern wasn't the graphics, it was the performance, and I'll touch on that shortly. Going back to textures, let's quickly talk about the zombies and the weapons on the Quest. I noticed for the Quest version that all the detail has been sunk into the stuff you'll see more of, which makes sense, so the hands and weapons look fine with decent texturing and functionality. However, the zombies have some jagged edges and aren't the best you'll see. They also look a bit washed out, but it's not too major. Let's jump over to the PC VR version, and straight away I could tell the lighting was better, as were the textures, but mainly the lighting. Hands and weapons looked absolutely fine with a bit more detailing. The zombies also looked better with a bit more life to them, even if the same model is used over and over again, but this is to be expected. I also found the zombies to remain longer once killed on the PC version, which was definitely a bonus for noticing carnage. Now here is a side-by-side comparison, and while this is playing, let's go over the performance of both versions as that's the main thing, as you're not going to want to play a sloppy frame-riddled mess, and thankfully that isn't the case with either versions. Again, the PC VR version is a lot smoother and you can really notice that smoothness when you see the zombies move, and even more so when the swarm hits, plus the overall frames feel more steady, but not in the sense where the Quest version has any major drops. It's quite the opposite. That being said, if you play both back to back like I have, then you'll notice the imperfections. The Quest certainly did suffer at some stages, especially during spawns. You would notice a slight slowness to the game, but it's not enough to really throw you off or make you feel sick. But it's definitely noticed when replaying the same part on the PC. The weapons on both versions ran fine, with all that I tried feeling really cool. I will say the Quest version did surprise me. I went in thinking a World War Z style swarm wouldn't be achieved in a similar sense as the non-VR version, and in some cases it's not. However, seeing at least 30 zombies run towards you while there are others still moving in the background is incredibly overwhelming, and I'm kind of happy it's not the same as the non-VR version, as I think that would be unbearable. Overall, the performance on both the Quest and PCVR is great, but with the PCVR just feeling smoother. Now I've mentioned swarms a few times, and this wouldn't be a comparison video without showing how they look on the Quest and PCVR versions, and all I can say is they're great. The Quest version really caught me off guard as I was expecting issues, as ever since this was announced I constantly said to myself, how is the Quest going to manage that many zombies at once? Well, that's on me. I underestimated the Quest and I'm silly for doing so, as it runs absolutely fine. Now sure, as I mentioned during the performance section, you can tell during the swarms that the zombies are not as smooth as the PC VR version and they're lacking in quality, but either way it ran fine and looks great, and in the moment when you're playing, it's incredibly cool. On the PC VR version, I opted for the turret and started taking the swarm out, and again this felt great. And matched with a PC powering everything, it all just felt smooth. Seriously, this game's swarms are ace and I don't think they'll get old. Now it's not all golden. The game's AI on both PC and Quest runs so poorly, but this is clearly a development issue and could be patched. What I mean by bad AI is your teammates sometimes shoot, sometimes they'll stand there, and overall they're just useless. I knew this was a solo game going in, but the poor AI made me upset that there is not multiplayer. Even at times the zombies can be a bit dumb, and the majority of the time they will run past you as they didn't spot you first. But overall it's a fun arcade zombie shooter and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So, are you excited to play this game? Have you been looking forward to World War Z VR? If so, let me know in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you all again on the next one. Have a great day and take it easy.